Hiya, Gemini. This is your reading for when the sun is in Leo of 2020. You are getting this reading from the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. It's a 13 card spread. The center represents your heart focus for this month, which is the driving force of all your other actions and thoughts, if you're in alignment with it. And the wheel cards represent the 12 houses of the Western Zodiac, starting with Aries, the first house over there on the left-hand side in the center. I will be reading your cards from the books, the interpretations from the books, and then I will finish with an interpretive reading as well. So this center card that you have states, I come to awaken sleeping hearts like a bolt of lightning from the astral world. I appear as inspiration, a dream or idea. I fill your heart with creative light and illuminate your mind so that the universe and all creation can find a space within your soul. It is time for dreaming big. The possibilities are endless. Now we're going to take a card here for the first house and get a little info on your identity that you're putting out in the world this month. And you have dog from the Chinese Oracle. A reliable, solid backing, loyal, cooperative, dedicated, persistent, friendly. Regardless of how day and night alternate, how time passes by, the dog always stands behind the fairy as an accompany and a backer of the fairy forever. Love and starting with loving yourself. Our second house is the house of Taurus. And this represents what you value. You have the horse from the Celtic Shaman's book. The bronze face mask of a Celtic horse surrounded by stars stares out from the card. Swirls of magical mist drift from its nostrils. The swiftness, sureness of foot, and endurance coupled with its grace and virility make the horse a symbol of magical power and strength of will. It will carry you to any of the realms, and once there, will go tirelessly for miles through the ever-changing landscape of the other world. A creative visualization. Journey to the land of endless rolling plains, and there take on the form of a great horse. Begin to canter, then trot, finally galloping at full strength, feeling the power of your muscles and your mighty heart. Ahead you see another rider whom you try to overtake, as Pilo once tried to catch Rhiannon. If you do so, the rider will be someone of importance to you, though you may not know them yet. Ask for guidance if you are unsure. The third house is the house of Gemini. It's about your communication and your community, like your neighborhood affairs and your family, more like your siblings within that. So we have recall or memory from the Tantric Dakini Oracle. This card bears the number 50, signifying the path of the unconscious as initiation. According to the classification by elements, this is a water card, normally related to the Suit of Cups and the minor arcana of the traditional tarot. On the shores of the sky, a doorway to enlightenment, the beachcomber of the mind discovers shells among the driftwood. In the foreground is a large pink conch shell representing the need to recall the essence of all existence, the original beginning, just as the seashell echoes the sound of the sea. The conch symbolizes the vibration of all things, for all animate and inanimate objects are comprised of particles vibrating at characteristic frequencies. The sound of the conch is used in religious ceremonies to attract higher orders of spiritual vibrations and to repel low-level vibrations. This is the point to stop and recollect before taking action. Remember the past in order to know how to act in the present. The fourth house, Cancer, the house of family, your ancestors, your home. From the prophet you have, only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. Some of you say joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you empty are you at standstill and balanced, when the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must your joy and your sorrow rise or fall. The fifth house, House of Leo, we are going to take a card from an Egyptian deck, and you have the 5 sacred elements representing alchemy. This is such a stunning card. So this is the house of your personal power that you can wield in the world. The spiraling cosmic alchemical cauldron of Akasha expresses the sacred archetypes of water, earth, fire, and air in an internal dance of creativity, death, rebirth, and illumination. The embodied shamanic mysteries on the planet. It is Akasha, spirit itself, that represents the 5th element. If you have pulled this card, you have all the tools you need to co-create your reality. Interact with these ancient Neteru to see how they are assisting you to accomplish your goals and manifestations in accordance with your divine purpose. These most ancient of Neteru have come together to help you become the master alchemist that you are. Virgo, the 6th house is next. This is about your duty, your ability to serve, your purity. You have from the enchanted spell oracle luxury, opulence, grandeur, joy. The vine was brought to Britain by the Bronze Age Celts, and as such is not a native tree to the isle. Nevertheless, it became an important part of folklore, and its spiral growth patterns can be seen emulated in Celtic knot work. Medicinally, it was used in medieval times as a poultice for coughs and inflammations. Culpeper describes wine made from the vine tree as the greatest cordial among the vegetables. Wine is thought to open the crown chakra. The priestess of luxury is positioned beneath the leaves and grapes of the vine. Beside her is a graceful white swan, the epitome of wealth and majesty in medieval times. The priestess wears an ochre dress with a red cloak and is associated with Mabon, the festival of autumn equinox, celebrated between the 2nd of September and the 29th of September. When the luxury card is drawn, it would appear that your life needs more joy right now. Parties, dancing, holidays, it's time to play. You may be feeling that life has been a bit joyless and full of responsibility of late. Think of this card as a permission slip to say yes to more luxury. Those invitations or ideas you have had that once seemed too frivolous or expensive. Go ahead with them now and see what happens. The house of Libra, the 7th house. This is about balance in our relationships and in ourselves, how we give and how we receive. From the Goddess Power deck, you have Gaia, representing the earth. Being grounded, slowing down, and remaining present in your body is the message that the Greek goddess Gaia has for you right now. Perhaps you spent too much time in your head lately and have not taken as good care of yourself as you would have liked. Get into a rhythm. Make sure you get enough sleep. Commit to spending more time in nature. And eat sustainably with conscious awareness. Gaia, the Earth Mother of all life, invites you to pay attention to your body, for you are a creature of the earth as well as spirit. You're part of this living earth, which is the foundation for all of life that has a physical form. What form does your life take? This is the perfect time to take a closer look to ensure you're happy with it. You also asked to examine the foundation of what you're building now. Does it feel solid and stable? Now is the perfect time to focus on stability and security, ensuring you move forward in a grounded way. The goddess Gaia reminds you that the earth is the playground for the conscious manifestation, so be respectful of this truth. Our next card will be for Scorpio, for the 8th house. This is the house of mystery and deep psychology. And you have the beloved for this. The beloved is the recognition of spirit in another and moving towards spirit through the other. It is when the divine appears to us in the form of our child, our partner, our friend, and we experience being in love. As we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. Accept the invitation to learn through the path of love. Expand your being through union with another. When you recognize the beloved in another, you call forth their highest and purest nature. Follow the path of love. Sagittarius, the 9th house. This is a house of exploration of things foreign to us, philosophically, religiously. So from a yogic path, you have Kapha, the earthly dosha, grounding, nurturing, and heavy. You are grounded into Earth's energy and carry its subtle calmness. which makes others naturally gravitate toward you. You bring peace and understanding and comfort to your community and are the shoulder anyone can lean on. You embody Earth's wisdom and are anchored to her vast life force. You may have created a life or are envisioning one that will bring you great contentment and stability. A true home surrounded by people you love. You do not need to search for more. The deepest peace you will find is where you are. Just remember never to become too attached to anything, as all is temporary. The 10th house, Capricorn, the house of your highest achievement, your house of your career, how you've performed at your best in society. From the Heart Path Oracle, we have twin energies, reconciliatory union, strengthen your commitment. Eggs appear lifeless on the outside, but inside they house budding new life. The 6 red eggs that appear here are teeming with potential. The central 2 eggs show fetuses wrapped around butterflies. This card is all about dramatic new beginnings and believing in yourself. It is an amazing time to birth a new identity, relationship, location, or business. The blue rose reminds you that you need to believe in what seems unbelievable. It always appears when one's faith is wavering. Do not listen to others. Do not slip into the past or future, but stay present, grounded, and ready to receive your miracle. Act as if it has already happened and believe in your own power. All of life is a journey, controlled and directed by your beliefs. Write new intentions and affirmations and stick to them. Do not worry about time. When you surrender to your heart chakra and listen to its guidance, you connect to a part of you that is beyond time. Staying in the present moment allows you to go beyond your current drama. Be open to new ways of thinking that you would have never allowed in the past. When you think you know everything, you limit your possibilities. Focus on all things beautiful. Beauty helps ground you and keep you balanced in your heart chakra. A new life and total transformation awaits you. It is you who holds the key to everlasting happiness and success. The 11th house, Aquarius. This is a house where you not only are able to, it's like a house of paradox almost, like you're unique, yet part of you serve the collective. You care so much for humanity. You're connected with the needs of those that are in need. So from the Sacred Geometry deck, we have crossing over, transition. The geometry of this card expands beyond the flower of life and represents communication from beyond. As you stand at the crossroads between dimensions, bravely face your future, knowing that you are not alone, but that you always have access to guidance and assistance. All you have to do is ask. The transition taking place in your life right now will intimately affect those around you and will chart your life's current direction. It may not be in your nature to ask for help, but that is the most appropriate action at this time. This is not a time to go it alone. You may decide to seek advice from a professional counselor or teacher. Your choice may be to consult your personal guides and angels or seek guidance from your higher self. The important point in choosing this card is that you accept that there are times when each of us requires assistance in moving through the inevitable challenges and transitions in this lifetime. And the 12th house, the house of Pisces, the house of belief in collective unconscious. So from the White Light Oracle, you have Sacrament of Extreme Unction. In an ideal world, we would finish our inner work by be completely healed, check it off the list, and move on without any issues from the past, intruding into our present life. In a more realistic view, we do our best to muddle through, gaining enough understanding and healing to attain some degree of closure and move on as best we can, flicking off remnants of the past which can arise, even while we are doing our best to let go. And an even more challenging turn of our growth spiral, we may know something has run its course and no longer belongs in our world, and yet have trouble exercising the past and its pains, confusions, or attachments. So it bleeds through into the present, even though we know it doesn't belong there. This oracle encourages you to embrace your future and let go of the emotional and psychological burdens you have been carrying for yourself and likely for many others, ancestors, and more for far too long. Sometimes we martyr ourselves to the pain of the past or even attempt to carry the suffering of others, holding it within our hearts as if it can alleviate the burden of another or create healing. All that happens in such instances is that suffering increases. Let yourself off the hook of guilt, shame, or blame. Give yourself permission to acknowledge that all people, including you, have done their best. The universe is offering you a powerful spiritual gift. Your heart knows how to receive it. Let go. There's no turning back. It's time to start anew. It is your time to be happy and free. All right, my Gemini loves, let's see what I have for you intuitively here. I'm seeing that you're really perhaps barely grasping this idea of balance in your life and how to flow with balance. And you're maybe feeling a little bit resentful that it's not a priority for you, but that it's something that you need to integrate. And it's just sort of getting in the way of your chaoticness, which enjoys just free-flowing and connectivity that's sort of all over the place, but doesn't really end up connecting to anything at all, and is somewhat unproductive. It's kind of feels frizzy and staticky to a certain degree. But for you, it's your identity. It's how you feel energetically, and it's natural for you to be this way in the world. I see that you want to be loyal and that you're passionate about where you're looking, and that in your character you are spiritually driven, and your emotions are attached and thoughts to your spirituality. And this is a very beautiful, almost like transcendent energy that can be exuberant. Not only do you get something from the higher realms, you can almost transmute that back into the higher realms, an energy that's a gift for the higher realms. And maybe you feel a little bit alone in this and unappreciated for the type of energies that you carry within you. And I think that it's created sort of a sad mask where no one can really see you for who you are. And they can sense, though, the brilliance around you and this energy as good. It's just that, in a way, you're not able to be in it somehow. Either you're hiding it, or I think that you're hiding it because you don't know how to integrate it, how to serve your community in a way where this energy is helpful. I see that you are communicating in a way that's very, perhaps emotional, very feminine in a way, and perhaps like the shell of femininity, like not even in its full lusciousness, and that it feels almost, for feminine energy, kind of sharp, kind of rigid. Yeah. And I think when you're at home, you feel in pain. And you have a few people around you that are supporting you, but you really feel like you've sacrificed, like you're suffering. And you've almost surrendered to it, to the support of other people in your family and in your home. I see, though, this potential to bring this energy to the stage in a way that the compartments of the different energies can come into a whole. And it may be strange, but yet it can be profoundly beautiful and somewhat absurd. But like there is this vortex that can help bring it all together. And I feel like the vortex has something to do with being able to touch within you so deep, like at least knowing what you center on. And if you can find that type of energy, it doesn't need to be a thought, but it's more of a feeling, and it feels soft, and it balances this very soft pink feminine and this very soft blue masculine with a touch of soft golden godlike energy of something divine in there. Very nice. Okay, so then in your day-to-day functions here, how you're serving, I see you stable. I see you happy, stable. You're able to branch off with different ideas. So maybe there's a turning point at some point, maybe almost mid-month for you, where you're just happy to be you and you honor that. And it brings a certain level of calm to your character and composure. And you feel like you can rely on something beautiful that you befriend, and maybe somehow beauty is a service to you, is something that is really necessary for you to have as a companion. It's funny, I keep looking and I keep seeing like this chaoticness. So again, like I'm seeing like the chaoticness though, but it's reached this point of like beauty in the chaos. There's this composure to it that's just resplendent. It's earthy, it's feminine, it feels like it's growing. That's a very strong quality to bring to things, this essence of growth. And it's very majestic, and it's transforming your thoughts and how you speak. And you're also very fertile as far as just it's like you're connected through and through with your fertility, that like not only in your head, but in your lower 3 chakras as well. Like all the way through, you're very full of vitality. And there's something deep within you that you're in touch with, something that you love that is so passionate, something that you hold so, so deeply. It's like pure love. And maybe you have someone in your life that you're just so in love with and passionate about. And that helps center you. And it's something that you can grow from. And now I see that like you've been able to take these energies that have been within you and bring them into your world, and they're living in the world in a way that is restorative to the environment, that makes the environment almost like a set in a play, like it's magical, it's fantastical to a certain degree, yet holds a lot of natural elements as well. It feels very organic, yet a little bit fantastical. And you've almost given so much to this that you've become very subdued, maybe even a little bit wore thin. Like you've given so much to some other things. It's made you perhaps a little somber and quiet, to where you can't even really appreciate everything that you have done. You're almost too tired to even celebrate. And there's this nearing quality where perhaps in your career you've reached an equality with someone where you're seeing eye to eye, you're coming together, you're cooperating, and you're allowing both of you to be infused with higher knowledge, being guided by something greater than just yourselves. And there's this like a rest within something blooming that has a strong like masculine quality to it, but yet it's very soft and growing. And there's other forms of communication that could be somewhat spiritually influenced too, that are perhaps being held back a little bit, but they're there. And, maybe they're in the cocoon stage, but maybe they'll be freed at some point. And this may come to affect the relationship, or maybe it's this communication needs to be sort of confined, and there's just a greater need to serve, the greater good, something higher than yourselves, rather than speaking and chatting and sharing ideas so much. I see you now facing something like you are being re-energized. The color yellow may be important for you a little bit later in the month to help you rejuvenate and help you feel like you're receiving back what you've been given, that there's this beautiful give and take between you and your environment. And I'm definitely seeing this. There's this sense of like you just lose your ego at some point in the month. Like it's just not important. There's almost a death of the ego. And you just fully give yourself over to something higher. And you surrender and you're willing to receive from that. And from doing that, you are completely restored, not only like in just the previous card, like you're re-energized, your power centers, but your passions are too. So any depletion that you feel at some point in the month will be restored, and you will be feeling far more enlightened and just really like transformed to a better version of yourself. Okay, my Geminis, that was your reading for this time period. Thank you for sharing it with me. Stay blessed. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you.